NFL fans, it is time once again for another episode of the show that we call the PFIve. My name is Bryan Davis here from the Pro Football Insiders. As we do this every single day, we are talking about one of the 32 NFL teams getting ready for the 2025 regular season. It should be a fantastic year. So far, we have talked about every team in the NFC West, but not the Seattle Seahawks, and they are a very intriguing team in a division that could be up for grabs because of some certain injury circumstances. So it's going to be very interesting. Mike Macdonald's team last year, well, they went 10-7, but they lost the tiebreaker to the Los Angeles Rams, did not make the playoffs. What are they going to do this year? Well, they have had some key losses on that team, but they did a very good job of trying to bring guys in to supplant those losses. So let's go ahead and take a look at number one. It's the free agent and trade losses that this team suffered, and they're big ones. They traded away two great offensive players, maybe the cornerstones of their offense. So it almost looks like an offensive facelift here, as DK Metcalf is now a Pittsburgh Steeler and Geno Smith is a Las Vegas Raider. They also will not have Tyler Lockett for the first time in almost 10 years as their wide receiver. Draymond Jones and Roy Robertson Harris are also gone on the defensive line, but other guys have been brought in to help out with that. We will talk about them when we talk about the defense. Number two, there's been an offensive facelift, like we just said, and it is going to be offensive coordinator new to the position, Clint Kubiak, and this team must like getting rid of a guy in DK to bring in two CKs, so Clint Kubiak and Cooper Kupp, with a 3-year, $45 million deal late from division rivals, the Los Angeles Rams. The thing with Cooper Kupp that you've got to worry about, he is fantastic. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He is a leader. Fantasy football fans loved this guy. He is a guy that if he is healthy, he is going to be gangbusters for your Seattle Seahawks. The problem, though, is can he stay healthy this late in his career? That is definitely going to be the rub in Seattle. Talking more about the offense in number three, it's bringing in a guy, one of the prized free agents of the 2025 offseason. Number one at quarterback was Sam Darnold, and he comes over with a $110.5 million contract. Here's the thing, though. Was he a product of Kevin O'Connell's great system in Minnesota? He had great players around him. Can he do the same thing in Seattle? He might have less to work with, but not so fast, says the running back room. Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker III, those guys make up one of the best running back combos in the league. That Darnold will have them to lean on, and who will he have to throw the ball to? Well, Cooper Kupp, we just mentioned, and Jackson Smith-Njigba in his second season last year has announced himself with authority as being one of the top young wide receivers in the league. So we'll take a look at that offense and how Sam Darnold could go. If he could continue and he proves that he is not just an aberration, that will be a good thing. Now, he replaces a guy that replaced a guy that a lot of people thought was going to be an aberration, and that is Geno Smith. Geno Smith was around for a long time, pretty much a journeyman in the NFL, went to Seattle and became a great player for them, and now he is being relied upon in Las Vegas as being a good quarterback for them to try to get them over the hump. So, if Sam Darnold does the same thing and sheds that label, you might have to think that Seattle is the fountain of youth and an organization that can turn around quarterbacks. Number four, it's the defensive front. Talked about the two losses in Jones and Robertson Holmes. No big deal, because they brought in one of the best defensive linemen in the last eons, and that is DeMarcus Lawrence. Coming in off the edge, 11 years with the Cowboys, he comes over, and they are going to get a blockbuster defender to add to another blockbuster defender up front. Leonard Williams just came short of his all-time record, but he had 11 sacks last year. Leonard Williams did. He and DeMarcus Lawrence, that will be a fun group to watch. Byron Murphy, the second, is up front as well, and he is a player to behold as well. Let's talk about number 5. Man, this team has a very good secondary, and it's the cornerbacks that lead the way. Devin Witherspoon's a guy that you don't hear a whole heck of a lot of coming out of the Pacific Northwest, but in 2 seasons, he's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He is one of the best young corners in the league. They're very excited about Devin Witherspoon. Actually, one of the best overall. His running mate, Reek Woolen, will definitely get some balls thrown his way with teams avoiding Witherspoon. So the W's in Seattle, we'll see if those W's could amount to more W's, and that's even more important, and that's wins. Real quickly, let's talk about the draft. They brought in a great offensive lineman, a guy that was very heralded from North Dakota State, Gray Zabel, and other guys that dropped to them, but some had first-round grades on quarterback Jalen Milroe from Alabama and Nick Amanawari from South Carolina, the safety. I tell you what, they are getting some guys in here that could really play. This could be a team that was 10-7 last year in this division with the San Francisco 49ers, who have all kinds of injury issues as well, even though they're picked as a favorite for the West, and the Los Angeles Rams, who would be a favorite, but they've got a quarterback problem that has a back problem, and that's Matthew Stafford. Can this team take advantage? If they can, if they could prove that Sam Darnold is their guy with the receivers that he has, with the running backs that he has with him, and a very good defense, this is a team that could be very sneaky and move to the top of the NFC West. That's all for me. My name is Bryan Anthony Davis. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is the Seattle Seahawks. We conclude the NFC West. We are going to go on to the AFC South, actually, and we're going to talk more about those teams as well. So stay tuned. We're going to have so much of that and more for the PFIve. My name is Bryan Anthony Davis. Thank you so much for joining me, and I have 2 words to say to you, and it's simple: go football.